Hey guys, Jennifer Turner here, back with EduSheets Toolbox, and today is going to be an intro class into how to put charts and graphs into your Google Sheets. So you're going to have to start with a Google Sheet. So I have one here, and it is a kind of copy of what it looks like if you download from Decision Ed the year-to-date average mark. I made up some names. Clearly, Ben Affleck does not attend my campus as a sixth grader. And I also made up some grades for them. So this is their average for the first marking period, the second marking period, the third marking period. This is the average of all three marking periods. And then this column, column G, actually does not come from it. I added it in manually and just put what letter grade they had. So if overall they had a 93, they had an A. Overall, 89 is a B, 77 is a C, and then anything 69 or below is an F. So I included A, B, C, and F in this. So if you were going to, actually let me move that over here. If you are going to insert a chart, what you want to do is highlight the columns that you want to use for your data to make a chart out of it. And then you're going to hit Insert and choose Chart. It is going to pick one for you. Like for instance, maybe you do want a column chart, but there's lots of options. There are lines, there are area charts, there are bar graphs that columns that go up and down and bars that go to the side. There are pie charts, scatter plots, all sorts of options. So if you want it, you can make it. Let's start with the column chart. And then here's the data range. You can go in and highlight it, but I don't need to do that because I already highlighted it before I hit Insert Chart. You'll notice that I have labels on the y-axis but not on the x-axis, so I need to add labels. I'm going to choose average numeric mark overall, and it's got all of the options here. If you tell it to aggregate, it's going to kind of like summarize the data, so you can see the difference, how busy that is versus summarizing it, to where the total of everyone who had a 93 overall is here. You can also pick and choose what information you want in here. So maybe I don't want the overall letter grade as an option, and I also see how it says green right now is average numeric mark, and now green is gone. I don't want that as an option either. And so you can pick and choose what information that you want. If you want to get really specific, like color and size and all of that, that's in the customize. And I'm not going to go into that for this because you really don't need it in order to be able to use. Do notice that the max now is a 4,000 because it's adding up all of the potentials that they could have. For education, you're usually going to use average. Sometimes you'll use count. Very rarely do I use sum, where I add up everything that's an option. So now we're looking at the average. Now I'm going to take and close that out. It keeps this chart here. You can slick it, and if you wanted to, I could even copy this chart and move it somewhere else. I could download the chart as an image, and so that I can use it somewhere else. You can now use this in a different presentation, but I'm going to go ahead and insert another chart because I want to show you guys something. I'm going to use the column chart again, same set, but this time I'm going to do overall letter grade on the bottom, and I'm going to aggregate it. I'm going to remove the same two. So I have the same information then, let me make this average, in both columns, except for this one has all of the potential grades on the bottom, and this one has the letter grades on the bottom. I prefer this because I feel like it summarizes the information into something that as educators we think about. We think about, of the students who overall made an A in the first three marking periods, what was their average? The first marking period, the second marking period, and the third marking period. Of those who made an F, the second marking period was more of a struggle for them. That's where they might need more support. And so, and really looking at, of those who made a C and a B, it was the second marking period that was more of a struggle for them. Only those who made an A maintained the same in the second marking period. So that tells you, like, this intervention-wise, these kids need a little bit more help in the second marking period than perhaps other times of the year. And I feel like that's easier to see in this than this. But just like with anything else, with the other one, I could take this one and I could copy it, I can download it, and then put it somewhere else in order to share with leadership or share with someone to talk about what's going on with the data. If I double click on it, it's going to come back, and there are lots of customizing options. So if you don't like these colors, you want to change them to your school colors, this is where you do it, under customize. If you don't like the size, the font, the numbers, anything like that, this is where you change it. It's under customize, but this is a functional graph. You don't even ever have to hit that customize tab in order to be able to create a chart or a graph. All right, if you guys have questions about charts and graphs, please drop me a comment on this video. If you would like to see how to do this in Excel, please leave me a comment and I'll take care of that for you guys. Thanks, bye.